I fell asleep with the TV on. I woke up to a live stream from inside my house. I'm scared. I don't understand what happened. I haven't been home since. I live alone. I'm a hardworking, fairly young guy. I just bought my own house last year. And while, yes, sometimes I get spooked when I hear a creaking house, I have never had an experience like I faced last week. As you can imagine, in this economy, it's not the easiest to own property by yourself. Most people wait until they are married and have dual incomes to purchase a home. I, on the other hand, believed I could handle the responsibility on my own. It wasn't easy, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the bills were paid, and I had very little spending money for anything else. I was okay with that, though. I guess you can call it pride. I felt proud owning my own house. Late 20s, good job, and now my own house. I was doing well enough for myself. Like I said, I am a hard worker. Sometimes not by choice, but by necessity. Mortgage and bills needed to be paid, and I didn't have anyone else to rely on. That meant any overtime I could get my hands on, I took. Need me to come in early? No problem. Need me to work a double? Say no more. I believed if I could earn enough money to get ahead of my bills, then I could slow down the overtime and really start to enjoy the fruits of my labor. After a long week of work, I was ready to fall asleep just about anywhere. Exhausted was not the word. The drive home was rough, but I finally made it home. I walked in the door, threw my bag on the floor, and headed for the kitchen. I just wanted to get something in my stomach before knocking out for the night. I grabbed a beer out of the fridge and a frozen pizza out of the freezer. I put the pizza in the air fryer and spotted what I would describe to be the most comfortable spot known to man, my worn-down couch. It wasn't pretty, but it felt like I was sitting on a cloud. I grabbed the remote and began flipping through the channels. I didn't have anything in mind, just something for background noise as I ate. I barely made it past 5 channels before I was sleeping on the couch. I would have slept there all night if it wasn't for the smell of my pizza burning in the air fryer, letting me know my pizza was past the point of consumption. I woke up in a daze, my eyes fighting to stay open. I forced myself to sit up. Right before I got up, I noticed something strange on the TV. I thought I was dreaming. I sat up straight, rubbed my eyes a few times, but it still didn't make any sense. I was looking at my living room. It was a bit fuzzy, so it had a home movie type of filter on it. I couldn't process what was happening. There was a timestamp in the bottom right that read 2:07 a.m. I glanced at the cable box and noticed it was now 2:45 a.m. My attention was brought back to the TV when the video started playing. You could see my front door just barely in frame. I saw myself entering my house, throwing my bag down, heading to the kitchen, walking out with a beer, and sitting down on the couch. I saw myself drift off to sleep within seconds of sitting on the couch, and then the video stopped. Then it began to rewind. I saw the front door close, and the video pause again. Then the screen went black. What the fuck is going on? I said under my breath. I had to be dreaming. This had to be some sort of weird sleep deprivation thing I was experiencing. Was I hallucinating? Was someone playing a sick prank on me? It was the only thing that made sense. I didn't understand what was happening. I panicked. After frantically searching for the remote, I grabbed it and attempted to turn the TV back on. I was met with static. I was about to stand up and get the fuck out of my house, but just as I was standing up, I felt it. The feeling you get when someone is watching you. When someone walks into a room and is staring a hole right into you. I froze in place as the TV displayed a new image. I recognized what I was seeing immediately. The view from staircase in my house, leading down into the living room. My phone buzzed next to me. I quickly grabbed it. I received a notification for a new voicemail. My phone never rang. This had to be it. The big reveal. One of my buddies playing some oddly elaborate trick on me. That's what I wanted to believe. I held the phone to my ear and listened to the message. Don't move. A strange voice, a voice I didn't recognize. I began spinning the Rolodex in my mind, trying to match the voice to someone I know. That's when I heard it. A creak at the top of the steps. The video was live. I didn't dare look up at the stairs. I didn't move a muscle. I just sat there, my heart pounding against my ribs like it wanted to escape. The TV screen remained fixed on the staircase. It was dark, grainy, but I could still make out the faint silhouette of someone or something standing motionless at the top step. It wasn't moving. Neither was I. I held my breath. Another creak. It stepped down one stair. Then another. Still, the figure didn't move on the screen. I finally turned my head, just slightly, toward the staircase. Empty. But the sound of footsteps continued. Slow, deliberate, not rushing. Like it wanted me to hear every single step. My hand hovered over my phone. I tried to dial 911, but the screen stayed black. Dead. Even though I remembered charging it earlier that night. The TV glitched again. New angle. Now it was from behind me. From the kitchen. Facing the back of my head. I could see myself motionless, staring at the screen. Behind me, in the shadows of the hallway, something moved. A tall, thin figure slowly entering the frame. I turned to look behind me. Nothing. I looked back at the TV. The figure was closer now, standing right behind the couch. Right behind me. I shot up and bolted for the front door. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I just ran. I didn't care that I was barefoot. I didn't care that my car keys were still on the kitchen counter. I sprinted down the street, past the other darkened houses, until I made it to the gas station at the corner. I called the police from there. They didn't find anything when they searched the house. No signs of forced entry. No fingerprints. No evidence of tampering with the TV. They told me maybe it was a bad dream. Maybe I'd fallen asleep watching something, and my mind had filled in the blanks. I wanted to believe them, but I knew better. Because the next day, when I went back to gather a few things and figure out what to do next, there was a note slipped under my door from the inside. No envelope, just a piece of paper. It said, "I told you not to move.